talk about what we saw on offense. Obviously, the big story was the surprise emergence of Laviska Shenault. 2 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. He broke a 67-yarder on what was, basically a 1 yard out pass off of Baker Mayfield. Check down. Basically, had pressure in his face, couldn't find anybody downfield, dumped it off Shenault. He makes a couple guys miss and takes off down the sideline. Obviously, we knew this was what kind of player he was and why the Panthers brought him in. You give him the ball in space, he can make guys miss, and that's exactly what he did the first time he touched the ball as a Panther. How about that?
I loved it. I had essentially forgot he was on the team until this game started and he was back there returning kicks. And I was like, okay, yeah, I forgot about this guy. Let's see if he can do something. And he did. 2 grabs, 90 yards, a touchdown. His first grab, I think, was about a 70-yarder, which was, like you said, basically a 1 yard bubble screen. And he took it to the house. Good job on him. And then the next catch he had was a big third down. I think it was like 3rd and 15, something like that. He got in space and he was able to open it up. So I think without a doubt, he needs to be the number 3 receiver in this core. I think you need to run with him, Robbie, and DJ Moore. I think those 3 guys need to run. I like Shi Smith. I still have hope for him. I don't think he's ready yet for that number 3 spot. I think you maybe bump him down one to that number 4. Competing with Rashard Higgins and those guys. So those are your 3 best playmakers on the field when it comes to wide receivers. So you need them on the field. Good game from Shenault, and he was live. He was talking a little bit of trash, and I like it. Let's see if he can keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Shenault needs more opportunities, and I think he made that completely clear. And I think anybody you asked would agree with that after what he did with his 2 touches in this game. I think I'm not so sure about what you said about him being the number 3 guy, just because that's kind of why he's here. In Jacksonville, he could never really establish himself as a pure receiver, and that's kind of what they want him to be when they took him in the 2nd round. So I think if we use him the way we used him in this game, 2 short passes in space, let him, pick up yards after the catch. If we run him on sweeps and tosses, things like that, I've said before, he's a lot like Cordero Patterson or Deebo Samuel, although Deebo Samuel's a much better pure receiver. But that type of player, you use him as that gadget type of guy, get him in space with the ball. I think that's where we need to use him. Now, when I say that, I think it's fine to have him as your 3rd option on offense after, McCaffrey and DJ Moore. But I'm not so sure you want him as that 3rd wide receiver and receiver sets for the whole game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Shi Smith could certainly still have a role in that regard. But I do agree that if you're looking at purely the number of touches, he's definitely up there with, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson doesn't get a lot of touches anyway. At this point, I almost think Robbie Anderson should jump down the depth chart to number 4 or so, put Shi Smith in his spot, let Laviska be a 3rd option maybe there, him and Robbie kind of switching out depending on the situation. Robbie, to me at this point, Robbie's really nothing more than just a deep threat. When you want to take a shot down the field.